Hello everyone, I've been meaning to do this video for quite some time. It's about a song called Baby It's Cold Outside. I heard a comedian do a bit on how this song was banned because of certain beliefs it held, or professed, if you will. He compared it to another song that was very vivid with lyrics, and very sexual actually with lyrics, and then compared the two. And I remember watching the video and one of the top comments said, well, the thing is, the difference is the comedian's wrong because the argument is in the favor of the sexualized song because it's consensual, whereas in the song Baby It's Cold Outside, it's not consensual. And that made me think about this song, and I also looked up some of the reviews that they've passed in the past, and one of them it was that it was a boundary crossing sexual coercion, that the song was about that, and then that there was some references to a creepy dude dragging his terrified looking date back to his bedroom. Basically, the song is conveyed as if it is sort of an abusive song from a male towards a female in this song. And I wanted to actually look at the lyrics and see what it is about. And I was quite surprised to what I found out, and I'd like to just share my experience with you right now. We're going to start with the song Baby It's Cold Outside. Dean Martin sang it. It wasn't written by him. This is the female side, this is the male side, and the way the female talks is through verses, and then he just throws in little comments in between. So I'll read her paragraph first. So, I really can't stay. I've got to go away. This evening has been so very nice. So right off the top, we got so very nice. And what I'd like to do is that I'd like to put the lady here, and there's the guy right here, okay? Let's say that's Dean. So far, she is checkmark. She's fine. This evening has been so very nice. I'm assuming she's talking about her, if she's not lying, she's talking about her experience of the evening. But baby, it's cold outside. Okay? But baby, it's cold outside. Been hoping that you drop in. I'll hold your hands. They're just like ice. Okay? So now, one would say that he's playing a game of coercion. Now, one can speculate on that. So far, what it looks like to me is that he's saying that her hands are just like ice, and it's cold outside, and he was hoping that she'd drop in. So he actually would like her to come in, right? So it's a straight up invite to come in, okay? My mother, all right, so there's another person in the picture. That's her mother. And my mother will start to worry. So right now, we've got a cross on the mother already, I think. And father will be pacing the floor. That doesn't sound good either. So father is also a big no-no. Right? So really, I'd bet you scurry, well, maybe just a half a drink more. So it sounds to me like currently she needs to be scurrying, not because she thinks that the evening is so very nice, but because there's a group of people that will worry and be pacing the floor, and she needs to scurry because of that. And then she's convincing herself maybe a half a drink more because she's actually enjoying her time right now. And so far, let's see if he's going to be coercing her into thinking that he wants to drink more, because so far, it seems to me, yet again, let's not forget that he's inviting her. He's having a good time too, right? Beautiful. What's the hurry? Listen to the fireplace roar. He's inviting her to get warm by the fireplace. That seems caring. Beautiful. Please don't hurry. Put some records on while I pour. Oh, and that's that pour. And, you know, people, when they want to relax and have a good time, which they seem to be having, they like to pour a glass of drink. Now, again, someone can assume that he's putting records and pouring a glass of wine just with the intent to lure her into some coercive sexual behavior, as the critics were suggesting. Let's go on. The neighbors might think. The neighbors. All right, let's see. Let's see if there's a neighbors, not one, maybe two, maybe three or more. Our neighbors now. So now, say, what's in this drink? Is that what the neighbors might think? Or say, what's in this drink? And I've heard references to this being more of a joke. She's having a good time, and she's asking whether they're going to get drunk and get silly, right? And it doesn't seem like, well, maybe it means that she's worried. But at this point, again, she's made another reference. So far, she is not saying, I'm not sure if, you know, I would want to do anything here with you. So far, she's maybe a half a drink more. And she's invited the drink and then asking, say, what's in the drink. So I don't know. It seems a bit satirical. I wish I knew how to break this spell. Now, what is the spell we're talking about? I think it's the spell that she's attracted to him and thinking that the evening's very nice. Plus, there's also the spell of the mother, father, and the neighbors. The coercion is already starting to seem to me that it's coming from an external source from outside of this group right here. Yeah. Baby, it's bad out there. No cabs to be had out there, so she actually can't get it. She'll actually not be able to go home. Although he could drive her. Fair enough, right? Your eyes are like starlight now. I'll take your hat. Your hair looks swell. So more compliments. He's just making her feel nice. Although one would say don't objectify a woman because she's not there to be pretty for the men. And I think a romantic evening where clearly there's innuendos towards sexuality, I think compliments actually can go a long way. I ought to say, no, 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 sir. I ought to say. Now, this is not what she wants to say. This is not what she wants to say. This is what she ought to say. This is what some other exterior world is having saying, no, 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 sir. So this no doesn't sound like so far in the song is coming from her. At least I'm going to say that I tried. I really can't stay. Oh, but it's cold outside. Right? She can't stay, not because she doesn't want to. She ought to say it. Right? She's trying to break the spell. Meanwhile, the guy is mine. If I moving closer, what's the sense in hurting my pride? What's the sense of hurting my pride? I don't know, maybe because becoming self-honorable? I'm not really sure about that one. Baby, don't hold out. Baby, it's cold outside. Don't hold out. And now I would say that that's holding out on what she ought to say here. Not how she feels. I mean, I'm just trying to analyze the song and the lyrics. I simply must go. She doesn't want. It's not like she's saying, I want to go. Leave me alone. I must go. The answer is no. And I think this is one of the big ones. The answer is no. So it's not saying I'm saying no. She's saying the answer. Now, who created this answer? Who said that she ought to say what she says? Well, she made a bunch of references up here, and she clearly outlined the community that is stating the answer is supposed to be no. The welcome has been so nice and warm. She feels warm. A little, warm inside. But baby, it's cold outside. But baby, it's cold outside. How lucky that you dropped in. Look out the window at this dawn. So he wants her to stay until dawn. He basically saying, stick around. And she wants to. But let's see. My sister. Oy, oy. All right. There's a sister now, too. Okay. Will be suspicious. So somebody's scrutinizing. My brother. Oy, oy. My brother will be there at the door. It sounds like coercion to me. My maiden aunt's mind is vicious. My maiden aunt. Okay, let's put her here somewhere. She's kind of in the family. All of these people are nope, 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 no. But maybe just a cigarette. Or she's trying to just find whatever she can find to just stay a bit longer. She seems to really want to stay longer. Gosh, your lips look delicious. Waves upon the tropical shore. Gosh, your lips are delicious. Never saw such beauty before. Well, now the guy's spewing poetry. This guy right here, he's like triple, quadruple, double check marks. I gotta get home. Say, lend me a coat. You've really been great, but don't you see? Don't you see that she's not allowed? She just has to go. She has to listen. But what is she listening to, right? But baby, it freeze out there. It's up to your knees out there. I thrill when you touch my hand. How can you do this thing to me? Okay, well how can that there? He's like, that could be the coercive element. I'll do this one sentence. I'll be like a bit of a guilt trip when you're doing it to me. Oh, she's under pressure, man. So, anyways, but I guess he's invested his evening too. I don't know. There's bound to be talk tomorrow. Now, who's going to be talking tomorrow? Surely not two of them. Seems that this lot right here, the entire community around them, is going to be talking tomorrow. Where was she? When did she come back? At least there will be plenty implied. I really can't stay. Plenty implied. So people are already making judgments. Where's the judgment coming from? I really can't stay. Baby, it's cold. Baby, it's cold outside. Think of my lifelong sorrow. That seems like he's just in love. But again, that's a bit guilt trippy too, technically. If you caught pneumonia and died. Oh, yes, forget that. Yeah, imagine if he let her go out. Although he could walk her home. So I don't know why that's not in the song. Get over that old doubt. Baby, it's cold outside. All right. Now, I would like to make a bit of analysis here furthermore, from like a cultural perspective. The song clearly is outlining that there is a narrative that is happening in sort of like the general value system of societies holding a specific views on how two people should be. Now, my guess is that the critics are actually going against that narrative, because we've heard a lot of kind of like down with the patriarchy, toxic masculinity, all of those narratives, I think, come from this context of the man pursuing the woman who can't hold her own. And the more modern cultural pushes have been in the direction of emancipation of women. And that push has gone against not what's happening between two of them here, but what's happening within the context of the entire community and the world beyond that we all live in, and how everyone thinks and judges behaviors. And the more modern movement has also aimed to get women to be more independent and to make their choices on what to do. So, in my opinion, so far as I look at this piece of writing, it is the woman that is resisting the general view, which we can call patriarchal if we choose. That's I do those analyses in some of my other videos as well. But notice that it's not the males inside of this community. There's actually technically more females named in this case that are holding the traditional view that they're imposing onto this woman right here. She's trying to break out of that. She's trying to break out of the patriarchy, if we want to call it that, which I think is to some degree fair, although it's not fair just to call patriarchy evil either, because patriarchy and matriarchy are two systems that have to learn to coexist together, because feminine and masculine will always be around. So it's a matter of how we balance it. And in this case, she's wanting to rebalance against this worldview, which is for her to make her own independent choice to stay for the evening. So in a plot twist, it seems to me that the Dean, good old Dean here, is actually trying to support her in her quest for independence and more a world where she can create more of her own judgments and her own choices. So again, I'm amazed of how these kinds of writings get analyzed in such ways and conclusions are made that are completely opposite from what they really are talking about, and how easy it is to just simplify arguments without even really thinking about what the underlying message really contains. So be careful with that out there. And I quite like the song, actually, now that I finally heard it. Enjoy.